We will be spending the next 4 days on board this boat that will take us all the way up to the top of Spitsbergen. I am so excited. So let's head straight on board and start the adventure right away. Let's go. Welcome back to Svalbard, everyone. It's me, Cecilia. Today we are heading out on an adventure full of beautiful Svalbard views and even a glimpse of the ever so elusive polar bear. This 4-day boat trip takes us along the west coast of Spitsbergen, all the way up to Moffen and Lethean, and then on our way back we are stopping in Ny-Ålesund, a small research town on Svalbard. We headed out from Longyearbyen Thursday afternoon, starting our journey towards 80 degrees north and towards the top of Spitsbergen. Before the Svalbard archipelago became Norwegian in 1925, the whole area was called Spitsbergen, which means pointed mountains in Dutch. It was named by the Dutch navigator William Barents in 1596. So now you know that. Spitsbergen nowadays only refers to the main island that we live on. This is pretty spectacular. What do you think? It is day one. We have just woken up, as you may see, and there's sunshine, Christopher. Yes, beautiful. I was a little bit nervous about the weather because when we looked, it said to be very stormy for the entire of the time. But today, so the furthest I've been is Ny-Ålesund. How high up in Spitsbergen have you been?
Here.
This is the furthest? Nice, so we're both gonna go to the top of Spitsbergen for the first time. Oh my gosh, now we're gonna eat breakfast. We're gonna check out what the plan is for today. Listen to all that ice. I'm so happy for this sunshine. So we started here, and now we are. Mango med frukost. We have already run into one situation though, and that is the coffee situation. At home, I had put aside my emergency coffee and then I forget to pack it. So now it's gonna be like a 4-day detox. It's a little bit better today. I think I'm getting used to it, but that's all right. While we eat breakfast, let me show you around the ship. This ship is called MS Nordstjernen, which translates to Motorship North Star. It is named after Stella Polaris, famous for helping seafarers find their way back home and helping the Vikings navigate the north. The ship was built in 1956 and it's truly a gorgeous ship looking at the exterior, with all of the wood and brass details. Inside the ship has a dining room, a small bar, a cafe-looking seating area, a lounge, and interior and exterior cabins. We were allocated a cabin with a bathroom, which I later realized many of the cabins didn't have, so I was very happy with that. Come in, everybody. This is it. We have a window, very important. Otherwise, I think I would feel claustrophobic. We have oh, it's a ladder. Okay, there's a ladder in here, and I think that's also a wardrobe. That is one vibrant bathroom. When it comes to the quality of the cabins, they have the charm of the old boat, but maybe lacking a little bit in upkeep and renovation.
Since it's an old ship, it's also quite noisy, so I was very happy when I found our earplugs for night 2, as it meant we could get some better hours of sleep.
The cabin is bigger than I thought it would be, so that is good. Let me show you the view also. Absolutely everybody is having a landing now, but we decided to do some work and some other stuff, so we basically have the boat all to ourselves. This is where the Scandinavian group, which is all of us, have our meetings, and you can also come and chill here. The boat is definitely older. I think it was built in like 1956, I think it said. I booked this trip for Christopher and me, or we booked it because we just wanted to go on a longer trip all the way up to Spitsbergen. And we also found out that as locals, we get like a good price on this cruise. So it isn't, you know, sponsored or anything by the company of the boat or anything. We just bought this. This is so beautiful. Everybody's coming back from the landing now. I'm guessing we have lunch soon.
Every day, if the weather permits, there are 2 landings, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. A boat trip on Svalbard generally covers a lot of ground, so it can be a great way to see the incredible nature and wildlife that we have here. There are many different companies offering trips on all kinds of different boats and sizes. As people started coming back to the boat, lunch was also served, so we sat down to eat. There is a set menu for all the meals on board, and it's included in your ticket price. It's a mix of buffet-style meals, 1 barbecue evening, and 3-course meals. While we ate, we headed to our next landing for the day, which was by the Smeberg glacier, and this one I was especially excited about.
Today is absolutely beautiful. I don't think there's a better spot for my daily vitamin ritual. It's also a very good time to introduce the sponsor of today's video, which is AG1.
With our extreme seasons here on Svalbard, I find it extra important to stay on top of my health, and AG1 makes that easy. All you have to do is mix 1 scoop with cold water and shake, and that's the foundational nutrition you need, which supports whole body health.
What I think is so good about the little packets is that we can bring them on cabin trips and easy on the boat trip, and when we can't really pack like a ton of stuff, you can still get your vitamins. And also, is there an easier way to get like 75 vitamins and minerals and whole food ingredients? I don't think so.
AG1 contains tons of different vitamins such as biotin and zinc that help support healthy hair and nails, which you know is a big focus of mine. It also contains your daily dose of vitamin C and zinc, which is great to support your overall immune health, amongst many other vitamins and benefits. Go to drinkag1.com/Cecilia Blomdahl or click the link in the description to get started on your order.
AG1 is going to give my community a free 1-year supply of AG vitamin D3 plus K2, and you also get 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. So thank you so much to AG1, and let's head back to this incredible place. This is just such a beautiful day. We could join the guides when they came in with the boat and go a little bit before the guests. And we're gonna join one of the guides who I think is on polar bear guard duty up on one of the hills. And so we get a good view and we can film some. And this is one of the most spectacular places. I say this all the time, but you know the deal by now. It just gets more and more beautiful. This is the Smeberg the Smeberg Glacier. And if you've watched a video or a movie called Klaus, I think it was a Disney, I don't know. They were talking about a place called Smeberg, and they were up in the north. And that's here. So this is the glacier, and then there's a Smeberg fjord, and then there's also a Smeberg point. For some reason, I just have always wanted to go here because it feels like I'm going to, you know, that fictional place, but it's real. So here it is. But it's also incredibly beautiful. Who's tired of me saying that? Not me, not me. The glacier is thundering, and it's dropping a little bit, like calving, not very big pieces, but it feels like something huge is about to drop. So if it does, I'm gonna try to catch it.
Back in the 17th century, there was actually a whaling settlement here by the name of Smeberg, founded by the Danish and the Dutch in 1619. The name Smeberg means blubber town, and its whaling station served as the main base for Dutch whaling in the first half of the 17th century, which was the period when whale hunting was still happening along the coastlines and in the fjords of Svalbard. Many myths and fabulous stories have been made up about the town's vitality and size. It was said to be a town bustling with people, shops, bakeries. You know, there were churches and fortresses, and it was said that the town had thousands of inhabitants. However, large excavations were carried out in the 1980s, and it was found that, contrary to the myth of a lively town that at its peak had up to 20,000 inhabitants, the settlement actually had approximately 200 inhabitants, all workers at the whaling station. Smeberg was abandoned around 1660.
That is one big block. When we come back from the trips, we wash our feet there, our shoes, to just not bring everything with us on board the boat and on to the next place. I'm starting to get used to the coffee. I think that's, I don't know if that's a good sign, but ja, det här är ögonposition. Dinner time. There are walruses right outside. There's a polar bear, so we're gonna see if we can find it with our binoculars and show you guys.
Polar bear? Jag tror björnen är på 1,5 kilometer. I think the polar bear is getting this one 1,372 meters, and that's about ish where the polar bear is. It's quite far. It looks very healthy, fat as a pig, really big one.
We were now in Lethean, a very moody and spectacular location. This was also the place that was planned for the second landing of that day, but of course that landing was cancelled in order to not disturb the bear. On this trip, we didn't really do any morning landings because we spent that time sleeping due to the fact that the cabin decks were so loud. To give you an idea of just how loud they were, a bunch of passengers had resorted to sleeping in the common areas during the night in order to get some hours of rest. While we started our trip towards Moffen and 80 degrees north, dinner was being prepared. And for dinner this evening, it was barbecue night, and it was without a doubt the best meal of the trip. It was incredible.
It is now 10 p.m. and we are at 80 degrees north, which is the furthest I've ever been on Spitsbergen. And maybe the furthest you've been.
Could be.
Could be. Or just right up there. And we're looking at Moffen, which I thought was going to be maybe more of a spectacular island, but it's more flat land.
Yeah, but it's water inside.
Oh.
So it's just
A little sandbank.
Yeah, it's a sandbank with water inside.
And it's like an animal or like a bird sanctuary, and there's walruses. But I think the thing is that it's 80 degrees north. That's why we're here. Cool. Very cool. And also we can see a bit of a sunset. What I think is the most, I don't know, shocking, but just the water is so blue. The ocean is so blue here. Look at that. Well, soon it's time to go to bed.
There was a little celebration when we got to 80 degrees north, but even though we waited for the announcement and we were 25 minutes early to the time they had told us, they had already done the celebration when we got to deck. And I was a little bit bummed about that because I really wanted to be there for that. It was like the one thing that on the schedule we didn't want to miss.
Have you seen the moon, Christopher?
Yeah.
It's back.
It is.
I think this is the first time in a really long time that I've seen it, but maybe not. But now that it's actually noticeable, and also there's a bit of a sunset, the pinks and the oranges. Oh, it's a little bit choppy, but when you're on a big boat like this, you don't really notice it. I love this. It's like a comforting sway. But it's crazy that it's 10 o'clock. We're gonna go to bed. Tomorrow's a busy day, the last day. We're excited.
The next day we stopped at Ny-Ålesund, and that will be a video on its own because it's such a fascinating place. And that video will be up on Wednesday, so next week there will be 2 videos. How exciting! As always, thank you so much for being here and for all the continued support. We appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have an incredible day and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will see you next week. Bye! And also, of course, if you're wondering where Grim is during our boat trip, he was with our friends in the village, living that big village life, peeing on streets, saying hello to new dogs, and living his best life. So don't worry, he's having a great time. Okay, bye!